Hey everyone, it is Wednesday, October 20th. The time right now is 4:21 p.m. and the temperature is around 18 degrees Celsius. I'm here just alongside the Summerhill LCBO outlet. And this is the former North Toronto Station. That was a CP rail station that operated between 1916 and 1931. And this here is Yonge Street. And there's a look to the south. And even though I'm starting on Yonge, this one will be a mostly residential walk. I'll be heading north up to Shaftsbury Avenue, and I'll be going for a walk around the Summerhill neighborhood. There's a look into the LCBO, and I think it's fair to say that's their flagship location. There's a bit of a government-run monopoly on selling booze in the province of Ontario. And this location in particular has a rather extensive location of really old vintages and that sort of thing. So this area is just to the north of downtown. I guess you could say it's Midtown, although you don't really hear people refer to it as that. And here is Shaftesbury Avenue, and that's where you'll find the Summerhill TTC subway station. And I've always quite liked this view to the south here of the north end of the downtown skyline. Now I'm currently walking east along Shaftesbury. And there's the subway station. And that's been there since 1954. It was opened up with the rest of Line 1 back then. And this neighborhood is bounded loosely by Farnham Avenue to the north, which is just a few blocks south of St. Clair Avenue, and to the west by Avenue Road, and to the south by a street called Roxborough, or I think even a bit further south than that, probably Davenport Road, along with Ramsden Park. And by Yonge Street to the east, although here at Shaftesbury it does extend east over to the Yellow Creek area. There's the new home going in, right next to a rather nice older home. And this here is Tacoma Avenue. And it seems to hit a dead end. And a good number of homes in this area are from the late 1800s to early 1900s. And they're mostly Victorian and Edwardian style. And from what I could gather online, a lot of the semis and townhomes go for about $1.5 to $2 million. Just gotta clear my throat. Hopefully I remember to edit that out. I think this area is rather well known for its turn-of-the-century homes and nice tree-lined streets. There's some neat Halloween decorations at that one. And this street here is Ottawa Street. There you can see the rail tracks. There's an optometry store in an old apartment building. You can pop that address in to view it if you're curious as to how much the rent is there. There's an old laneway, so that's where these people would park their vehicles. That's a curious structure. And this here is Summerhill Gardens. And you can see Summerhill Avenue continues east of Mount Pleasant Road. Although just to the east of here, which is the direction the camera's pointing, you'll run into the Yellow Creek in a rather large ravine. So this area is cut off in that direction.
It's what? Sorry, say that again. No kids. No kids at the wedding? At all?
And this is the street for which the Summerhill neighborhood takes its name from. At the top of this hill I'm currently walking up, there was an old cottage, and that was named Summerhill. And that sat on a 200-acre lot back in the mid 1840s, or yeah, 1800s, I think around 1840 or so. And then in the 1880s, the original North Toronto rail station was built. That's when this whole area started to become more established. Explaining why a lot of the homes are from around that era. Looks like this one's getting completely gutted and redone. There's probably heritage protections against tearing it down and building it, or putting a new one in its spot. And a lot of these detached homes seem to go for around $3.5 to $4 million. There's one. I thought it was a for sale sign, but it's for lease. I guess this is right where the old cottage was. If you can't tell, it's a rather affluent neighborhood. Just to the southeast of here is Rosedale. And to the north-northeast is Moore Park. And to the northwest, you'd find Forest Hill. So there's a whole collection of affluent neighborhoods in this part of town. And look at these homes. Wondering what I'm doing. I am taking a picture. From time to time I do this on my walks. They are extremely nice properties. And there's a park here, but it seems to be closed. I was thinking of cutting through this on the walk. Access to the Summerhill entrance / little park will be temporarily closed to install new park elements under the Rosehill Reservoir Rehabilitation Project. Okay. Hey, a California license plate. Here we are at Summerhill Avenue. So I think this will spit us out at Yonge Street. back to Ottawa Street. This is not as peaceful as I imagined it might be. There's a really cute older home. Here's a home for sale. 53 Summerhill. If only there were a QR code that you could scan on those for sale signs, that'll bring up the details and the price. Now I'll be passing back over the subway tracks. This is curious. Is that a second sidewalk? What is the point of that? I think it's pretty obvious for this section, at least, they used the cut and cover method to build this portion of line 1. And it's back to Yonge Street. So what I'll do is I'll cross over to the west side. And I think I'll head south to Macpherson, which is another really nice residential street here in Summerhill. And I'll walk along that over to Avenue Road. Or rather, I'll be missing a number of streets if I do that. I think I'll head along Alcorn here. I think I can find my way out of that area. I saw a house listed for sale on the street coming up. I think it was about $1.68 million. So I'll see if I can spot that. Hey, who needs turn signals when you have a Lexus? So let's see where this leads us to. There's a townhome for lease. I guess they like to use that term in fancier neighborhoods more than for rent. There's a property that's recently sold. There's 63. So that was listed as a 2-bedroom, 2-bath home. $1.68 million. Of course, we don't know what the inspection says in terms of what kind of work it needs. Homes that old could always have foundation issues, could always be due for a new roof or plumbing. Could be some old knob and tube wiring kicking around in there. It's always a good idea to get it properly inspected whenever you buy a property, especially an older one like that. Well, that's neat. Looks like there's a designated walkway right along through there. That'll kick you out. Should I do it? All right, let's see where this takes me. Trying to roll up my sleeves. Sorry if the camera's kind of bouncing all over. Well, it is on a gimbal. I should have done a good enough job stabilizing it.
Or stimulate it. Like I would do something with friends. I think I should do something with girlfriends.
Just in case you were wondering what was over there. We have stumbled upon a school.
I don't see any cars in here. I think we're good.
So I think you could go to the end here and then head south and then walk along the south end of this school. What school is that? That is Cottingham Junior Public School. The street I'm on is Birch Avenue. Oh, that's a neat design. Look at that home. Kind of hanging over its garage. And I quite like this one. That has kind of a timeless quality to it. And I did find a home for sale on this street, 36 Birch Avenue. Unit 306 is going for $4 million. And that is a 2+1 bedroom, whatever that means, and 3 bathrooms. And I think that home for sale I just mentioned is part of this development here that's not yet finished. And on the other side of the street, Animals in Art. It's a wildlife gallery. And it's back to Yonge Street for the 3rd time on this walk. Seems to be a popular squirrel hangout. Oh, there are nuts all over the place. It's back to the old rail station and underneath the CP rail tracks. There's a look over at the old train station. And just on that side is Tironi, a popular Italian restaurant. And this is Marlborough. Bit of a tongue twister. And the western end of the street's rather unique. I did a walk along here not too long ago, as on the north side there's just the rail tracks. Here's the former home of Staples. That'd be neat if the new development looks like that. Hey, it looks like that's actually what's planned for there. That's kind of cool. And we're at Macpherson Avenue. This is one of my favorite residential streets in the city. It's up there with Chestnut Park and Palmerston. And since we're here, I'll take a quick look at it. I think I'll walk about halfway down, and there's a street that connects it to Roxborough, which runs parallel just to the south of it. And just south of Roxborough is Ramsden Park. There's an old church. So again, I think these are mostly turn of the century homes, late 1800s, early 1900s. I might find myself passing through here again pretty soon on a fall colors walk. I think we're probably a few weeks away before things start to look really nice. It's still mostly green. There's a home for sale. Oh, it says sold on it. That is 46 Macpherson. The street is named after J. Macpherson. I think was a famous Canadian poet. So off to the west here is Avenue Road, and Macpherson does connect to the other side of Avenue Road, although it doesn't perfectly line up with this stretch that I'm currently on. But I don't think I'll make it that far. I'm going to turn left at whatever this street is. I'll take that to Roxborough, then I'll head back over to Yonge, and I think I'll walk down to Rosedale Station. There's another one for rent. And this is Molson Street.
And so what you need to do is rather than make it like
There's the laneway for parking for those who live on both of the streets here, being Macpherson and Roxborough. Cadillac, Mercedes, Alfa Romeo. There's no shortage of luxury cars in an area like this. Now it's east on Roxborough, which does continue on the other side of Yonge Street, and that'll take you into the Rosedale neighborhood. Where I think the property values might be a bit higher than they are on the west side of Yonge. I think the parking on both sides of the street here and the fact that it's so wide really kind of takes away from the feeling of the neighborhood. And we're almost at Yonge Street. Certainly a lot of homes being renovated here. And during the pandemic, I think the cost of building supplies has kind of skyrocketed. Lumber and even contractors' prices. Someone who's doing a rather extensive renovation to their home up in Greektown. And they found it much higher than originally quoted. And something around here smells really good. So that's the Summerhill neighborhood on the right and Rosedale on the left. And this here is Gibson Avenue. There's Ramsden Park. So this is pretty much the southern boundary to Summerhill. And once the light changes, I'll head across to Crescent and into the subway station. Might as well preemptively put my mask on. There we go. Nice and snazzy. And to Crescent Road we go. One last look to the south towards downtown, which is just to the south of here. All right, I lied. One more look. Sounds like a train is rolling in right now. And that would be my train. I don't really feel like scrambling down there to get on it. Although I easily could. Let's see how this plays out. I'm just going to take my sweet time. Oh well. And on that note, I hope you enjoyed this walk around the Summerhill neighborhood. If you wish to support the channel, there are links to my YouTube channel membership and Patreon in the description. I also have an Instagram account I update from time to time. Anywho, thank you for watching. And as always, I shall catch you on the next one.